All right, so where we left off was we completed our factored tree. That's the first step in this process. So we know that the number 18 can be broken down into 2 times 9. And we know that 2 is a prime number, so we've circled it. We know that 9 is not a prime number. It has other factors, so we are going to leave that uncircled, and we need to add more branches to our tree. And we have figured out that 3 times 3 equals 9. And 3 is also a prime number, so we circle those. So the factored tree is complete. Now we need to collect our primes. And that's when we come up to this box here, which is labeled prime factorization. And what that means is you just simply look at the circled numbers, the circled primes, and you write out in expanded form how those would be multiplied together to equal the number that you're working with. So 2 times 3 times 3 equals 9, right? 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 is 18. Sorry, I meant to say 18, okay? 18 is the number that we're working with. So if I multiply all these primes together, I get 18. So I know that I have collected all the right primes, all right? But I can also write that out using exponent form, okay? If I write these out as powers using a base and an exponent, it is a simplified version, a cleaner version of prime factorization. Because if you're dealing with bigger numbers, you're going to have a long list of primes. You don't want to always write them all out individually. So up here, what I would write now is 2 to the power of 1 times 3 to the power of 1, 2. Okay, because there are 2 3's, I'm going to use an exponent of 2 to represent the 3. And that's it. Okay, 3 to the power of 2 is the same as saying 3 times 2. Sorry, is the same as saying 3 times 3, which is 9 times 2 is 18. So this here is exactly the same as this, except it's using powers and exponents. All right. So the next step we want to look at now is how to figure out how many factors are going to be in the number 18. Okay. It's not a huge number, so it's only going to have so many. But how can I look at this prime factorization and figure out how many factors there will be in 18? Well, let me show you. There's a trick. It's a really neat trick. I don't know exactly how it works or why, but it certainly does. And if you follow this trick, you'll always know how many factors you need to look for, which is really helpful for the next part of the assignment. So what I do is I just bring down these two numbers and I add 1. So I'm looking at this exponent, 2 to the power of 1, and that exponent is a 1, so I'm going to add 1 to that to get 2. And I'm going to multiply that times this exponent. If I add 1 to that, gives me 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And now I know that the number 18 will have 6 factors.